Hey guys, it's noontime for a little quick nooner video here. Got my carrying case right here. Looks like I got a walrus man in here. And what else do I have? Oh, a stormtrooper. Look at that, a stormtrooper. Last week I was looking to do a video, and I said I'm going to do a video on carrying cases. And the first thing I do before I make a video is I search to make sure I hadn't already done a video on it. And I already done a video on not just Star Wars carrying cases, but carrying cases in general. But I figured, that was me talking about carrying cases, and I figured I want to hear from you. This is the good thing about a nooner video. It's kind of where we get the conversation going in the chat, in the comment section, so I can hear from you guys, see what you guys had. Now, this was the first carrying case I had, or like I said before, I shared with my brother. At the time, we only had maybe 12 figures. Maybe some of Series 2 was out. We might have had a little bit more than 12. So I know we didn't have enough to fill up the whole case. What I liked about these is that they would flip over and they had pegs on them so you could stand figures on it. Made it kind of cool. A little base and everything. And then we had to graduate though. We got too many figures over time. Not enough to keep in this little box anymore. Let me put this down here. We got too many to keep in there. And one thing bad about these vinyl cases, and not just the Star Wars one, I hear it a lot, is the more you open them and close them, they start to rip right here. And pretty soon, we had a Hot Wheels carrying case, kind of briefcase-like style. Also, and they stopped falling apart. Now, before we had this one though, I do remember myself having one. It was a star case. It was, oh, hold on, I'll show you real quick. I don't have the case itself, but it was a generic case. It says Star World on it, and that's what I made this mug. You can get this mug at junkmanmerch.com. Shameless plug right there. It's not shameless. If anyone remembers, look at that, Darth Vader in a dress. But that was probably the first carrying case I had and couldn't fill it up. I think I had my own figures in it, and then my brother had more and we put them in that one. But going into Empire Strikes Back, of course, we got hit with a lot of Star Wars figures, and we needed somewhere to put them. And I think I was the only kid to grow up in the 80s, at least in the early 80s, and the only kid that was into Star Wars, that I don't think I ever had the Darth Vader carrying case. I had a friend that had it, Boyd, you heard me talk about him before. He had one, and I seen it, and I knew some other kids with it. I just never really cared to have it. If I'm at Kmart or somewhere looking for Star Wars stuff, and I'm going to get something, I'd rather buy something I want than something I don't want. It was never gifted to me, so I never did have it. And in the 90s, I bought it. I've talked to other people, and I know from Boyd having it, when you put your figures in there, carry it around, those figures fall out. The weapons go all over the place. It was a sucky carrying case, let's be honest. But I think everybody had this but me. It's easy to find it. You can almost find it on, I bet it 100 of them on eBay right now. These things sold great. And almost, like I said, almost everybody. They probably have a study somewhere in the Kenner Archive that said, hey, every kid in America bought this except for one. That junk kid down in Georgia. But never had it. Because by the time Empire came, we had something else to put our Star Wars figure in. A shoebox. Pony shoebox. I still remember it being pony. Anybody remember? Do they still make pony shoes? I don't think they even make pony shoes no more, do they? But I remember, I think it was orange, if I remember right, or red, somewhere in between. We would put all our figures in it. Weapons and everything. Just throw them in that box when we got done with them. I can remember around the creases of the bottom of the box would be so many weapons, I wouldn't remember who went to what. You had to look on the back of the card, and it was really tiny if you could even see the weapon. So most of the time you just had to go with memory and hope you got it right. So that's all we really needed was that shoebox. Like I said, I never had the Vader carrying case, and I think the reason I never had the carrying case is because I've talked about before, all my toys of Star Wars was kept at my grandmother's house. I would go over there every weekend, or at least every other weekend, but mostly when I was little, every weekend. Loved going over there. She had firecrackers, she had the Star Wars toys. It was just a lot of fun, and I'm sure my parents were like, whew, get rid of that junk kid for a few days. So I would go over there probably Saturday to Sunday. Let me get back to the story here. But I would never carry my figures anywhere, so I really didn't need them. I think a handful of them in the car or something. Might bring one home, two of them played during the week, but I didn't need a carrying case because, I wasn't going to friends' house with my figures too much. So, didn't really need that. And then going on to the other figure lines, I never really had any more carrying cases. Like I said, I had a Hot Wheels carrying case. Now I remember back in the 80s there was a Hot Wheel carrying case that looked like a tire. And I wanted that so bad. I don't know why I wanted it. I just thought it was so cool that it looked like a tire. You open it up and you put your Hot Wheel cars in it. I thought that was the neatest thing ever. I was like, I've got to get that. I know with the He-Man stuff, I had a friend that did give me a carrying case for his He-Man, for my He-Man figures, but it was a generic case. You could tell it was aimed for He-Man. It had a door to open, had a little knob you turn, a little metal door, and you open it up, had trays inside of it, it looked like a castle. It was kind of neat. I've seen it before, but I didn't really carry my He-Man stuff, so I didn't really need a carrying case. If I did, I would have thrown it in a bag or something. I didn't really see the need for carrying cases. Just never did. I know a lot of people I call them carrying cases. I know a lot of you guys out there call them collector cases, but I never heard, I know they say that on a lot of the packages, but I always just called them a carrying case. I never even called them a collector's case. So I'm curious of what you guys had out there, because you know me, I was surrounded by Star Wars. That's all I care about. But I know some of you had, G.I. Joe. I'm sure there were some G.I. Joe carrying cases. They had to be Transformers. Did they have a carrying case? They might have been too big and bulky and all shaped different to even have a carrying case. Ninja Turtles, I'm sure they had one. I can go down the list, action figure after action figure, but I want to hear from you in the comments section. What carrying cases did you have as a kid? And did you call them carrying cases or did you call them collector cases? I don't know. Collector cases just seemed a little too high and snobby for me, I was like, I never really said I was collecting them, but I guess I was, because I just collect them all. But no, I just saw them as toys I bought. I didn't really call them collecting them, but yeah, I was collecting them all, but I just called them a carrying case. Did you have the generic one? Did you have any generic ones? Let me know that. And just let me know what you put your figures in. If you didn't have an official carrying case or a rip-off carrying case, did you have it like me, like a shoebox you kept them in? Did you keep them in, I don't know, did you keep them in something else? Maybe you just kept them in an old bag or a sack or something. Maybe who knows? Maybe you took an old t-shirt, wrapped them up in it. Or maybe you only had one or two figures and you didn't even need a case to put it in. You just stick them in a drawer somewhere. Anyway, let me know all that and more in the comments below. And of course, we'll be back at 8 o'clock Eastern for the longer normal video. Thank you for watching.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.